I've been told I'm having all kinds of sound issues today. I don't know what to do. I've got the microphone cranked. I don't have the headphones on because I'm not conversing with anyone, but they're two separate issues. You just fixed it, though. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Taney. Appreciate you. I don't know what's going on with the TikTok. I've been told that there's no audio on TikTok. Well, what can you do? What can you do? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, T-Bone, from the Lunsby Show with T-Bone and Chick Brew. All audio issues aside, it's 10:30. It's Sunday. It was the Imola Grand Prix that just finished, or should be finishing very, very soon. And I had to come down here 30 minutes early to get started, which means I didn't get to watch the rest of the race. But if I had to guess, that SOB Max Verstappen has won again. And McLaren is probably second and third. And my Ferraris, although in the points, did not win. Frustration. Mucho frustration. Hey, good morning, Robert. Good to see you. All right, so it's Sunday morning. It's 10:30. It's time for the Supplemental. And what do we do during the Supplemental? We do three things. We tell you about your national days of the week. We tell you national days of the week. We tell you about some community comedy-related event or note. And we finish it off with the fan favorite history quiz. Well, this week in history, a trivia style. I forgot what I had called it. Now, I just heard my phone, but I didn't bring my phone down here. That's right, because the tablet is it assumed all of the things from my phone. It assumed all the sounds from my phone. How cool is that? Again, if you're in the TikTok worlds and you can't hear me, I don't know what's going on. Tried to fix it, but also gave up. Oh, sound is good now. That's good to hear. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your steadfast didness. Let's talk about your national days of the week, starting with Monday. Oof, that's a good one. We're doing this. Yeah, let's start. Take two. Let's start with your national days of the week, starting with tomorrow, Monday, May 19th. It is National Malcolm X Day. Now, I got a lot of things to say about Malcolm X. I can tell you this. Get your hands out of my pocket is the most memorable line I've ever heard in any assassination. It was a distractor that they used to get the audience to look away from Malcolm when they murdered him. By the way, in case you didn't know, not murdered by white people. Malcolm X was not murdered by white people. He went through a big change in his life. He was one way in his life, very anti-white, right? And then he goes on the Hajj to Mecca and sees Muslims of all flavors, and then realizes that we are one race, the human race, and changes, and that made him dangerous to the message, and that's what got him killed. So that's Malcolm X Day. That's Monday, May 19th. Also, a quick side note, Denzel Washington should have won the Academy Award for playing him. There's no doubt. And if he had won the Academy Award for playing Malcolm X when he did, then it is fair to say that Will Smith would have won the award for playing Ali when he did, but instead they gave Denzel the Academy Award for Training Day. Boo! Boo, hiss, boo! Anyway, it's Monday, May 19th, Malcolm X Day. Yes, those are all true statements that I intentionally left out, Mr. Taney, who in the Taney family is watching along with you this morning. Moving on to, let's see what I'm going to do. Ooh, I don't even know what that is. But it, la 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 la. Yeah, we'll do that. On Tuesday, May 20th, it's National Rescue Dog Day. Now, if you have a hole in your heart, a dog will fill it. There is no doubt about that. Dogs fill holes. They also dig holes, but they will fill holes in your heart. And if you're not, if you don't have a particular breed in mind, then by all means, go to your local rescue, see what they've got available, find one that meets your needs, and bring that puppy home. Give that puppy a second chance at life. Be a rescue dog dad or a rescue dog mom. And then that, like CrossFit and veganism, gives you the ability to throw that in other people's faces all the time. All the time. Like, I have a dog. Oh, do you? Is it a rescue? No, it's the breed I wanted. It's a breed standard, but I have rescues. Good for you. Good for you, you pompous. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, May 20th, National Rescue Dog Day. Moving on to Wednesday. Let me find out what it's going to be. Ooh, that's a good one. Why not? We'll do that. Wednesday, May 21st is Yoda Talk Like National Day. Yoda Talk Like National. Is it Yoda or Scooby Doo? It's National Talk Like Yoda Day. So that's just maybe an elderly Kermit the Frog. and the words must order out of B is, yes, how do you live to be as old as Yoda and not learn proper sentence structure? Someone explain that me too, please. National Talk Like Yoda Day. Moving on. There are unnatural pauses in between for the live audience, okay? And that's when I clip these up later, it's easier for me if there's a pause in between the two. Plus, I'm reading off the screen that's over there. So, and I don't want to do this every time. I've caught myself doing this. I'm not doing that. Thursday's National Cha-Cha's Day. Show the cha-chas, says Mr. Robert. I don't have that on my schedule. Oof, that's a bad one. Oh, that's a good one. I could care less about that one. I will definitely use that as an opportunity to highlight something that happened to me recently. Here we go. Thursday, May 22nd, it's National Craft Distillery Day. Now, I recently got a personal tour of the 0 Day Brewery. I don't know if they're considered a craft distillery, but they definitely are a brewery. And my friend Malcolm, my friend Malik, he can be a Malcolm. My friend Malik gave me a personal tour and showed me the behind the scenes on how they make beer. It was an amazing, very informative, very educational experience, and I'm very grateful for that. On top of that, he let me sample something that if you can get your hands on this, whether you're a beer drinker or not, if you enjoy liquid flavor, I recommend trying to find 0 Days Mango and Habanero beer. It was amazeballs. There's no other word to use there. It was very, very tasty. It is the only sipping beer I've ever come across in my life. This is a beer where you take a sip and then you let it all do the mouthy thing and then you move on with life. And then when that wears off, you take another sip. It is incredible. It's 0 Days Mango and Habanero beer. If you can find it, which I tried to do unsuccessfully so far, if you can find it, get you some. It's that good. Again, that's Thursday, May 22nd, National Craft Distillery Day. What about Friday, T-Bone? What's happening on Friday? Good question, friends and neighbors. Let's find out. That's okay. Oh, strange. When you use AI to help you pick out your national days of the week, it gives you the national days of the week, and it also gives you a tiny little definition of the day. Whereas if I do this naturally without the use of artificial intelligence, if I did this naturally, it would just say what the day is. So here's the day, and then here's what it means, but not what I thought it was going to be. It's Friday, May 23rd, National Don't Fry Day. Now, I would assume no fry Friday. Don't fry on Friday. I would assume that means like stay away from the French fries and chips and fish and chips. Yeah. Stay away from fried things is what you would think that means. But thanks to AI, there's a slight definition underneath of it. And this is promoting sun safety and skin cancer prevention. If you find yourself on the beautiful beaches of Rota, Spain, and you don't have any sunblock on, well, the next thing you could do is put some clothes on, or you can get under an umbrella. But I can tell you from my experience that staying in the shade of an umbrella, although you think would be 100% UV protection, it is not. And when you come home after spending several hours on the beach, because that's the way you do it in Spain, you go to the beach, it's a thing, and you stay there until you surrender. And if you don't have any sunblock on, you get burnt, even if you stay in the shade of the umbrella the entire time. It's Friday, May 23rd, National Don't Fry Your Skin, Get Skin Cancer, and Die Day. Full explanation included for free. Somebody gave Robert's comment a heart. Was it him? Did he do his own heart? Oh, that should be fun. That could be good. Let's see here. Amateur radio military appreciation. Honors military personnel through amateur radio. Interesting. I think I'd want to look that up, but I'm not going to use that one. I'm not going to use that one either. Not using that one. On Saturday, May 24th, it's National Brothers Day. What's up, brother? You know, I believe these are, actual brothers, but we're all brothers of the same mind, unkind. Caught in the middle in, not surrendering. I don't rhyme for the sake of riddling. Yeah, what you know about that? It was the one-armed man. I don't know why I went off there with a little Public Enemy. But National Brothers Day, that's Saturday, May 24th. If you don't have a reason to celebrate your brothers, like me, they're all losers. Screw those guys. Not true. Not true. I love them all. And maybe I don't tell them enough. Maybe I should tell them. Call your brother. Send your brother an email. Send them a text and let them know you're thinking of them on Saturday, May 24th, National Brothers Day. Moving on to our last day of the week. Let's see what we got to choose from here. Yeah, we know that ain't true. I'm going to go with this one. On Sunday, May 25th. Let me look at the camera instead of the screen. On Sunday, May 25th, it's National Missing Children's Day. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you about Missing Children's Day. That if your child goes missing, you should do everything possible to find him as quickly as possible. But at some point, you're going to have to admit they ain't coming back. Now, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the people who put faces on the back of milk cartons, they don't do that anymore, but they do still make ads. They still do raise money for the organization, and they will put pictures of grown people, or they will put pictures of children with a AI-generated image of what they probably look like now in their 50s, in their 60s. Look, if your child goes missing and 50 years later you're still looking for him, first of all, good on you. That's a heart. That's a lot of tenacity. But reality is, they ain't dead no more. If they have not found death, they have successfully hidden from you for a very long time and don't want to be found. It's Sunday, May 25th, National Missing Children's Day. All right, that's your days of the week. Looking at the comments, we got some funny ones down there. Sunday, yes, Sunday is Monaco, the Indy 500 and the Coca-Cola 600, all in one day. Next Sunday, I'm considering just canceling the supplemental, because if you haven't heard, the producer will tell you, I love Monaco. I'm a big fan of Formula One racing, and I am a super fan of the Monte Carlo racetrack in Monaco. I know every twist. I know every turn. I love that race. She hates the race. There's no place to piss. It's not exciting. It's boring. She hates Monaco. I love Monaco. When we were in Cannes, I didn't care to see Cannes. I cared to see Monaco. And I had it all worked out. We were going to get off the ship. We were going to get in a taxi cab, go to the train station. Train station's going to take us to Monaco on race weekend. And then we were going to take a train back to the ship, and everything was going to be great. And we get off the ship, and I drag her she's not even a Formula One fan at this point. I drag her along with me to the taxi stand, and I said, we need to go to the train station. And the man says to me in the most amazing French he could possibly say, "It's not possible." It's like, no, it's possible. You have a cab, and the train station's right up the road. Let's just go to the train station. And he said, no, we cannot take you to the train station. I was like, I have to go. We have to go to the train station right now. We got to go. We got to go. The train right now. It is not possible. Why must you go to the train station? I was like, because we're getting on a train, and we're going to go to Monaco. It's race weekend, and we're going to tour around Monaco. And we're going to do that right now. Let's go. But the trains are on strike. And they were. The trains were on strike, which is, in Europe, it happens all the time. It's happening in New Jersey right now, and they don't know how to handle it. But in Europe, they strike all the time. You just deal with it. And he offered to drive me there for a price I wasn't willing to pay. And he offered to drive me to his friend's helicopter and take me there. And I got to be honest with you, I did consider that. I thought that would be like one of the most balling moves of my life. Just me and the wife flying via helicopter into Monaco. Oh, landing. I wouldn't have felt appropriate because I wasn't wearing the right clothes, and I had the money. I just didn't want to spend that money. But anyway, I won't be canceling the supplemental next week. I have Formula One TV. I can watch the race whenever I want. I want to watch it live, and I want my guys to win, but they are not doing a good job of winning lately. What do we got as far as your ComCom note, your comedy or community-related note? Yesterday, they had the big chicken thing supporting the Northeast Fire District Bureau, whatever, where they sold chicken for $12. Tonight, at The Den, located at 1000 Hannah Street, right next door to Harrisburg's premier Jiggle Joint, is open mic comedy. You can sign up at 6. You can get in for free. Show starts at 7. Will probably run until 9. They have 50-cent wings. They got a full bar menu. They have drinks there at reasonable prices. That's our friend Corey Miller and our friend Don Driscoll running the open mic at The Den, located on 1000 Hannah Street in Harrisburg. And that is that. That is your National Days of the Week. That is your ComCom note. And now let's get on to our fan favorite portion of the show, This Week in History, a trivia style. Oh, I don't know what was showing. All right, it looks like the right things are showing. One screen to another. It gets confusing sometimes. Sorry if you were looking at the wrong thing. Here we go. 7 questions. The goal every week is to go 7 for 7. You be your judge. I'll be my judge. I want to go 7 for 7. Last week, man, I did really bad last week. Last week I got like 4 out of 3. Wait. I got like 4 out of 7. I barely passed. If passing was more than half. Here we go. Yep. So your national days of the week we do in advance, the week in advance. When we do this week in history, we do the week before. So here are your questions. Let's all try to go 7 for 7. I'm looking for your comments, and I understand there is a delay. Question number 1. On wrong week. There we go. Question number 1. On May 14th, 1804, which famous expedition set out from St. Louis to explore the American West? Now, when it comes to famous expeditions, I can only think of 2. I haven't looked at the multiple choice answers yet. If you have a famous expedition that you can think that started in St. Louis to explore the American West, if you can think of one that isn't what I'm thinking of right now, then by all means pop your answers into the comments there. I'm going to tell you there's 2 famous expeditions, if you will, that I can think of. The Mason-Dixon expedition. Roger pops in with the Donner Party. James pops in with Lewis and Clark. But Robert wins the internet today by saying the Donner Party. That, very funny, young man. Very funny. So Roger and James both go with Lewis and Clark. It isn't Mason and Dixon. It is Lewis and Clark. That is also my answer. Let's see what our multiple choice answers are for those people playing along. Was it the Lewis and Clark expedition? The Pony Express Riders, the Oregon Trail Survey, son of a gun, one of the options was the Donner Party Trailblazers. So good call, Robert. You had an option of getting that right there, but I think we all believe it was Lewis and Clark. Question number 2. You can't change your answer, man. Question number 2, what legal decision was handed down by the United States Supreme Court on May 17th, 1954? You have to think about what was going on in the world in 1954 in the United States of America, and then think about the Supreme Court decision that is so popular it would be in a trivia quiz. What Supreme Court decision was made on May 17th, 1954? In my brain, again, not having looked at the options available to me yet, I believe this is going to be Brown versus Board of Education. That's what I think, because it's 1954. What do you think? Or do you need your multiple choice options? Here are your multiple choice options. Ooh, Roger goes with Miranda. That's a good one. Robert goes with Brown versus BOE. James goes with Brown versus BOE. Here are our options. Roe versus Wade. Plessy versus Ferguson. Brown versus Board of Education. Or, good job, Roger, Miranda v. Arizona. The great thing about Miranda is he was a scumbag. And he got off because he wasn't aware of his rights. And then that scumbag got murdered. And then they had to read the rights of Miranda to the murderer of Miranda. I love life. So that's our options there. Roe v. Wade, Plessy versus Ferguson, Brown versus Board of Education, or Miranda versus Arizona. My answer, I'm going with Brown versus Board of Education. On May 5th, 1940, what company introduced the very first McDonald's-style drive-in with car hops in San Bernardino, California? May 15th, 1940, just before the war starts a crack-a-lackin', what company introduced the very first McDonald's-style drive-in with car hops in San Bernardino, California? So basically, what was the first drive-in food place, McDonald's style? 1940. Here are your options. Robert's going with In-N-Out because it's California. I can understand why you would think that. James goes with McDonald's, which also makes sense If it's the very first McDonald's style, Roger goes with In-N-Out. Here are your options. Is it the king of burgers, Burger King himself? Is it McDonald's? Is it A&W? Or is it Dairy Queen? Roger's going with In-N-Out. Not one of the options. Dairy Queen, A&W, McDonald's, or Burger King. I don't like the phrasing of this question. I think it's maybe a trap. It's a trap. I'm going to go with A&W root beer's got that frosty mug taste. Only A&W's got that frosty mug taste. Because I remember as a child that A&W had girls on skates that would come to your car. I don't think they do that anymore. I don't think they do the skating part. But it was McDonald's style, but they brought the food to you. I am going with A&W. Now, In-N-Out is not an option, so those of you who prematurely guessed In-N-Out, I will give you an option to change your answer to one of the options available. Burger King, McDonald's, A&W, or Dairy Queen. Robert has changed his answer to A&W. I believe that's the correct answer. That's question number 3. Moving on to question number 4. On May 16th, wait, the heck with that. I picked Jack in the Box. I think A&W was East Coast, but I think it may, I don't know. I don't know if I'm right, James. I don't know the history of A&W. I just know it was McDonald's styled. And Jack in the Box wins the internet. That's a great answer. Question number 4. On May 16th, 1929, what event was held for the first time in Hollywood? May 16th, 1929. Oh, Christy came in with Lewis and Clark. She is catching up quickly. Or, because of the way my monitor's situated, she answered much earlier. Roe versus Wade, Christy went with. All right. Thanks for playing along. Mini egg rolls, so good. Don't know what's going on there. May 16th, 1929, what event was held for the first time in Hollywood? Was it the first TV broadcast? Was it the Academy Awards? Roger pops in with Academy Awards right off the bat. James is going with the Emmys. Is it the Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony? Or was it the Cannes Film Festival? Well, if you've been watching the rest of the episode, you know I was in Cannes, and that's not in Hollywood, so we can eliminate that one. Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony, it feels like that's something that definitely belongs in Hollywood and could have occurred around this time, May 16th, 1929. But also, the Academy Awards could have occurred on May 16th, 1929. And the first TV broadcast, I don't believe occurred in Hollywood. I believe that was an East Coast thing. I believe the first TV cast was done on the East Coast and later became a West Coast thing. So I have narrowed it down to either the Academy Awards or the Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony. Christy, I appreciate your participation, but you're, just so you understand up there, bear with me 1 second. He's going Wall of Fame, no AA meetings. You're cut off because of the compact. If you have an answer and you're playing along on the TikTok, just do the bump thing, get your answer to come up about mid-screen so I can see it because it's below the other monitor that's in the way. Or join us on Facebook. You can find me and Tony Knuckles there on Facebook, and you can play along there. But it's good to have you playing along just as well. Let's see. We got Academy Awards. We got the Emmys. We got AA, the Academy Awards, the Walk of Fame, no Academy Awards. I'm going to go with, I think the first star was laid. I think the Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony for the very first time was May 16th, 1929. Christy is bumping herself up a little bit there. She has chosen Sonic, which is not one of the answers. And she's also going with the Academy Awards. So again, it's up to you to keep track of your answers. We'll all know all of our answers in just a couple of questions. Moving on to question number 5. What U.S. state became the 49th to join the Union on May 15th, 1959? What U.S. state became the 49th state to join the Union May 15th, 1959? Don't you know? Don't you know what the 49th state was? Do you know what the 50th was? Because they came to us in almost a package deal. What was the 49th state? It became the 49th state on May 15th, 1959. Here are your options. Mr. Taney pops in with Alaska right off the bat. Is it one of the options? We shall soon see. It's one of the options. Roger comes in with Alaska. The very first option you have available is Alaska. The next one is Arizona. Then there is Hawaii, or Hawaii, because there's an extra I in there. Hawaii. Or New Mexico, meth capital of the world. Alaska. We're all saying the same thing. The 49th state, Alaska. 50th state, Hawaii. 51st state, Canada. 52nd state, Greenland. We'll find a way. We'll find a way to get those stars on the flag. Question number 6. On May 13th, 1981, which world leader survived an assassination attempt in Vatican City? You know, again, not looking at your multiple choice answers. It's a world leader survived an assassination attempt in Vatican City. Who could that possibly be? Who else would they try to kill in Vatican City? Papa Giovanni Paolo II. That's who. The answer, without a doubt, in my mind. But I'm waiting for yours. Christy pops in with Hawaii, question mark. For some reason, she's suffering a delay that we normally don't have on the Talks of Tick. Mr. Taney agrees with the Pope. Robert agrees with the Pope. Pope John Paul II is my answer. Let's see what Da Pope, Roger adds. Here are your options. May 13th, 1981, what world leader survived an assassination attempt in Vatican City? Was it Ronald Reagan? Was it Pope John Paul II? Was it was it Margaret Thatcher or Mikhail Gorbachev? James puts down Pope with a bunch of Roman numerals. Hilarious. Those are your options. What is your answer? We're all pretty much agreeing it was the Pope. And I'm sure when Christie's answer pops up into the screen where I can see it, it will also say Pope John Paul II. Finally, our last question of the week. It's it was the reason for the Pope-mobile, Robert. They invented the Pope-mobile because of the assassination attempt. Question number 7. On May 18th, 1980, which U.S. volcano erupted catastrophically, becoming one of the most significant eruptions in American history? This is one of those things, either you know it or you don't know it. It's a volcano that exploded in 1980 in America. Pope John Paul II, I have to tilt the screen down. Christy pops in right away with Mount St. Helens. I got to get you to move the answers up or play along. The options are Mount Hood, Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, or Mount Shasta. One of the very first times we were able to see a volcano detonate in real time. We got to see it. Yes. Kilauea, he pipes in, then immediately changes his answer to St. Helens. St. Helens, I got St. Helens. Everybody is saying Mount St. Helens because it was Mount St. Helens. My buddy Carl Rohn lived in the Mount St. Helens Valley and survived the eruption, luckily for him and his family. It was, as they say, a biggin. Now, let's go to the answers and see how we did. Question number 1. Roger pops in with St. Helens. Got it. Question number 1 was Lewis and Clark. Question number 2 was Brown versus Board of Education. Question number 3, I knew it was a trick. Question number 3 was McDonald's. So the one person who said McDonald's, good on you. Question number 4, and the second one I got wrong, was the Academy Awards. Question number 5, the third one I got wrong, was Hawaii. I got them all out of order, man. I guess it was Hawaii, then Alaska, then Canada, then Greenland. Question number 6 was Pope John Paul II, and question number 7 was Mount St. Helens. I will, if we all go decent on the answers, it's a feel-good week. All right. I feel bad about Hawaii. I don't feel so bad about the Academy Awards. I mean, it was 1929. And McDonald's was a trick question. I do enjoy going for 7 for 7. It does give me a nice warm feeling in the cockles. But I did not go 7 for 7 today. Maybe you did. I don't think any of you did. I think we all kind of failed together. We will fail together. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for playing along on the Supplemental. We do this every Sunday at 10:30. As always, I remind you to just be the best person that you could be. And if you're a great person today, be an even better person tomorrow. Chick Bruce sends her love. We are taping soon. Donna Party was very funny, Robert. We are taping a new episode of The Lunsby Show later this afternoon. You can find The Lunsby Show by searching the hashtag LUNSB.